If you feel like your videos are stuck in the 200 to 300 view jail, and no matter what you're doing, you're feeling frustrated with making content, you're overthinking everything, and maybe you're feeling like quitting altogether, just give me a few minutes and I will make your videos impossible to skip that actually pull views. After studying and working on thousands of videos, I found that there's only 5 things you really need to nail down with your videos, and I promise you'll start seeing some serious numbers. And if you're new, I'm Enrico. I've built an audience to 300,000 plus followers in 2 years. I've been working in social media for 10 years, and I've filmed and edited for some of your favorite people on social media. And I've consulted on social strategy and content for 7, 8, and 9-figure companies. And I am currently the director of social for one of the largest brands in the world. Safe to say that content is all I do, and it is what I am obsessed with. And I say that not to brag, but because I know what we're going to cover works. So let's dive in. First, hooks. If your videos are stuck at 200 to 300 views and you're trying everything and anything to essentially escape the 200 to 300 view jail, and you're like, the algorithm hates me. I know that I'm shadow banned, that it has to be that, and there's no other explanation possible. First off, I hear you, but I'd be willing to bet that it's actually your hook. See, there's 3 types of hooks that each video you post needs to have, and I bet you're not including them in your videos right now. But before we get into what those are, the algorithm does not hate you. The algorithm wants you to do well. I mean, think about it. The algorithm's only goal is to keep people on the platform watching content. It's the same goal with any platform. It doesn't matter if it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, Threads, because if you, the person making content, can do a good enough job of keeping someone on the platform, you win. And I'm a believer that social media works in signals. If you have a video doing well and your average view duration is high, meaning you're keeping people on the platform longer, and the skip rate is low, which means the percentage of someone seeing your video and choosing to swipe is low, you are essentially sending signals to the algorithm that this video is something that people want to watch. And if the signal is good, then they will push us out to more people, so that the platform has more opportunity to run ads. And when they can run ads, they make more money. Now, when these platforms make more money, you get to get more reach and growth. Let's jump into hooks. The first hook is your visual hook. This is the first thing that people see and what makes them stay. Why does this matter? Because 92% of people consume content with the volume off, which means they see you before they hear you. And if your video isn't visually engaging right away, they'll scroll past before even listening. The way you use visual hooks to your advantage is to use movement, facial expressions, unexpected visual elements, and one that is super underrated is simply set the scene. So for example, if I were making a video about a home that I was listing, if I'm in the real estate space, and I was to show the features of a home, I would make sure that the home is behind me in the video, or maybe I'll start the video in the most interesting part of the home. The second hook is your written hook. This is the title text that people see before they even hear you speak. And with your written hook, you want to reinforce what your video is about. So with a written hook, this should be very curiosity driven, provocative, concise, and not too intellectual. And we're gonna keep the real estate example in mind here, okay? So the written hook for this video would be something like, you finally found your dream home 10 minutes outside of Dallas. The third and final hook, verbal hooks. This is the first thing you say out of your mouth. And with your verbal hook, you want to ask a question, start with a negative, make a bold statement, or disrupt expectations. And again, let's keep that example in mind here. So for the verbal hook, you could start with something like this. This is what $300,000 gets you in Dallas, Texas, but the best part is you only need $10,000 down and it's yours. Remember, your verbal hook isn't just what you say, but how you say it too. And when you have all 3 of these within your video, this is what I call the triple hook method. And I guarantee if you follow just this alone, you'll easily get your videos out of that 200 to 300 view sticking point. But even if you have your hooks fixed, you still need number 2. And if you're with me so far in this part of the video and you haven't subscribed yet, I was actually doing some quick research and 90% of you who are watching are not subscribed. So please hit subscribe. You should see the subscribe button start to glow or whatever it's doing, because it's the best way for you to support the channel and it tells me that you're enjoying this content. So please subscribe. Number 2, the MVP, aka the most valuable part. The hook is incredibly important, but that's only the first 3 seconds of your video, because here's what most people miss. What happens after that? Like, what's keeping someone watching your video until the end? This is where the most valuable part comes in, AKA the payoff. And I want you to think of this like a GPS in the car. If you're driving a car without a destination in the GPS, you don't know where you're going at all. You're just taking random roads and you have honestly no clue where it is that you're trying to go. But if you have a destination in the GPS, you clearly know where you're going and you know how you're going to get there. This is the part that holds your whole video together, because without it, it falls apart. Before you even think about the hook, I want you to ask yourself, what do I want my audience to feel after watching this? What do I want my audience to learn after watching this? What do I want my audience to do after watching this? Most importantly, how is this helping them? And then what's the reward for staying until the end? And this one is key too. After someone watches this, can they immediately go apply? And not just apply, but can they also see the same result over and over again? If you don't define this up front, your video will fall apart. If you don't know the destination, neither does your audience. And when you don't have clarity, you'll have no conversions, no engagement, and no growth, period. This is the problem. Because most people script their videos backwards. They chase the perfect hook, or they just need the next viral hook that they've saved in their folders, and they hope the rest just kind of makes sense and kind of just falls into place. Big mistake. The payoff should shape everything. It should shape how you script. It should shape your visuals, your hook, your CTA, all of it. Let me show you how this looks in practice. So for example, if I was in the fitness space, I wouldn't just say weight loss tips. Instead, I would say, I lost 30 pounds in 4 months and went from this to this, showing transformation photos. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd only focus on these 3 things. Now, what's the payoff there? The viewer will understand how to lose 30 pounds in 4 months if they follow the 3 steps. Let's talk about sales. I wouldn't just make a video about sales tips. No, give me 60 seconds and I'll make you dangerous at sales. My goodness, what's the payoff there? Well, the viewer will clearly understand how to be better at sales in less than 60 seconds. And I want you to remember this. The clearer the payoff, the clearer the promise, the more people watch and the more your content starts to work for you. Once your payoff is clear, the hook writes itself. But most creators stay stuck right here. They guess, they overthink, they waste time, and this is why they feel frustrated, and maybe why you're feeling frustrated too. And no wonder why your videos flop. And honestly, if you are tired of wasting time, if you are tired of feeling defeated with your videos, and you want to feel like the work you're putting in actually matters, and finally start seeing the results, what I want you to do is go ahead and grab my viral video scripting template. It's in the description below. It is the exact same template that I use to script videos that give views like this for myself, but not only for me, for my clients as well. So stop wasting your time feeling like you are ready to quit and start making videos that actually get views. Start making videos that actually build your audience and most importantly, grow your business. Check the description below. Number 3, VPS, or what I call value per second. What is the value per second rule? Every second of your video should deliver something valuable, whether it's education or entertainment. The problem is, you think you're already doing this, but you're not. See, after you script your content and before you even hit record, I want you to ask yourself these questions. First, am I removing unnecessary words, pauses, or filler? Second, does every second keep my audience engaged and interested? Is there a clear reason for someone to keep watching? Did I repeat myself when I didn't need to? And is this as concise as possible? If there is any moment where the answer is no, you need to either change it or cut it out completely. Now, one of the biggest debates with content is, do I make shorter videos? Do I make longer videos? Because most people, and I don't know if you have, but I'm sure you've thought of this at some point, you're like, do I make my videos longer? Do I make them shorter? What's the answer? Well, if you think making longer videos is going to help you get more watch time, and you think the algorithm will reward you magically somehow, you're wrong. Because the one thing that matters way more than the length of your video is retention. I would argue that shorter videos get more watch time. Now, why will shorter videos get more watch time? A 45-second video with 80% retention will outperform a 3-minute video with 30% retention every single time. And if you go into your analytics on whatever platform you're creating on, let's just take Instagram for example, you can see the average watch time on each reel. Your goal is to maximize watch time by minimizing any fluff. If something doesn't add value in your video, it does not belong in your video. This doesn't mean that you should make your videos as short as possible. It means you should make them as concise as possible. So, how do you increase your value per second? Well, there's 3 ways that you can instantly boost your value per second. Number 1, cut the fluff. We don't need slow intros. We don't need unnecessary backstory. And I'm just gonna be honest with you, just get to the point. I don't care about your credentials. I certainly don't care about you unless I know you care about me. Because remember this, people are selfish and they are watching content for themselves, not for you. Number 2, use faster paced editing. Can you use jump cuts? Can you zoom in? Can you use pattern interrupts? What can you do to keep attention locked in? Because again, you need to do this where necessary because you don't want to feel like you're at an EDM concert. Certainly I don't. Again, the editing should take care of itself when you have a strong script. Number 3, very important, write at a 3rd grade level. If people have to work to understand you, I can promise you they will not stick around. That's why I talked about your title and that written hook at the top. That needs to be not intellectual because otherwise people won't understand what's going on. And pro tip, there's a site called Hemingway app. I want you to use it to simplify your script when you're writing so that you can see if your video is either below, above, or at a 3rd grade level. It helps tremendously. And finally, reevaluate your content. If you want to know exactly where you're losing people, just check the data. Go into Instagram, go into TikTok, go into YouTube, whatever platform. Check your average watch time in your analytics. This will literally show you when and where people are dropping off, and it will help you pinpoint what part of the video was not valuable enough and what needs to change. I will continue to hammer this home with you because numbers and data do not lie. Creating great content isn't just about making new videos. It's about improving what you already have. So go back and review some of your past videos. And I want you to use this checklist as a guide for you, okay? Where did I lose my audience's attention? Again, looking at the data. Where do they fall off? And then I also want you to look objectively. Did I waste time with unnecessary intros or explanations? Could I have delivered the main point faster? Was my content engaging from the start and then all the way through to the finish? And then finally, did I give my audience a clear reason to keep watching? And if you find weak spots, fix them. Because the best creators are constantly studying and obsessing over this stuff because it matters. And if you have older videos that you're now looking at being like, hang on a second, this could be way better. Great! Fix it and repurpose the video with the changes. And I bet you it will perform better for you than it did the last time. Number 4, show, don't tell. One of the biggest mistakes that I see so many entrepreneurs, coaches, and business owners making with their content is they're only telling people things and not showing them. For example, if I told you how to do a push-up versus showing you how to do a push-up, you tell me, which would be easier for you to replicate? Exactly. Or better yet, if I told you about the features of a home versus showing you the features of a home, well, which video would get you interested in buying the home? You see what I'm saying? Okay, so let's break down how to actually make your content more engaging by showing, not telling. First, can you use on-screen text? I talked about the title card. How else can you use that throughout the video? Can you use visuals to reinforce any key points that you have? Either with some bold text, some animations, or graphics, and do not overuse this. Can you demonstrate what you're saying instead of explaining a concept? Can you show it in action? Can you physically demonstrate it? Can you draw on a piece of paper or a whiteboard? Can you show us with text and visuals like I just mentioned? Use B-roll, cutaways. If you're making a talking head video, can you add any relevant footage or examples so that we can see exactly what you're talking about and so it's easier for the viewer to understand what you're talking about? Let's talk about some examples of how showing versus telling shows up and how you can fix it. Here's the first example, tax and accounting. Here's an example of just telling. The new tax law could save you thousands of dollars a year. An example with showing would be using the green screen effect to embed a screenshot of the new tax law behind you while you're starting your video so that we can see proof of what you're talking about. Let's move to fitness. An example of telling. This is the best exercise to grow your biceps. Instead with showing, can you start the video in the gym, performing the exercise while you're stating the hook and pointing to your bicep? Or can you go into your editing software and highlight the bicep muscle so we can see it? Real estate, telling. This house is listed for insert amount and located in town. An example of showing. Stand in front of the home and move into the house with B-roll while you're stating the verbal hook. Again, similar to what we chatted about before. And finally, fix your content. I know I've said this multiple times. Go back to your recent videos or even older ones and run through this checklist. Where am I talking or where am I telling when I could be showing? Can I add visuals, examples, or any real-time demonstrations to reinforce my message? And how can I make my content easier to consume without relying on just telling? If you focus on showing instead of telling, I can promise you, your content instantly becomes more engaging and it's way easier to understand and way more likely to hold attention. Finally, number 5, front load your videos. Here's something that no one is telling you. Saving the best part or the most helpful information for last and hoping people to stick around is a huge reason why your watch time and engagement drops. You need to front load your content with the best stuff and then use micro hooks throughout your video to keep viewers engaged. I mean, think about when you're choosing a new series to watch on Netflix. If the first 10 minutes are slow and boring, you're gonna dip, you're gonna exit out, and you're gonna spend the next hour searching for something better. Am I right? It's the same thing with your content. If the opening of your video is flat and boring, people don't care enough to stay till the end, and they're gonna immediately scroll. So here's what I want you to do. Go look at your video analytics. I guarantee most of your viewers are gone within the first 3 to 5 seconds. And let's just take Instagram, for example. You can see this skip rate. If people are skipping past the first 3 seconds or not. That means if your best insight, tip, or hook is buried in the end or even in the middle of the video, almost no one is seeing it. Again, your average watch time matters because if you are leaving the best stuff for after where people are leaving your video, I hate to break it to you, but your video may as well have had nothing there for the last few seconds or however long it was because they'll never see it. So when you put the most important info first, 3 things happen. Number 1, the viewer knows why they should keep watching. Number 2, the viewer stays longer because they actually see the value right away and they want more of it. And number 3, the viewer sees that you value their time by giving them wins right away. So how do you actually front load your videos for maximum watch time? Well, here's how you can instantly improve your retention. Instead of having to quote unquote warm up your audience, I want you to lead with your best insight, your best tip, your best takeaway. None of this, here's 5 tips to increase your deadlift by 100 pounds in 30 days, and number 5 is the most important. Really? I know you've seen that video. No, put the most important at the front. I promise you, people will want to keep watching. Remove unnecessary intros, greetings, or explanations. I know we've talked about this, but get right into the content. Don't waste people's time. In the first few seconds, make it clear why this video is worth watching. My friend, there is so much other content out there that is fighting for people's attention. Why is your video so special? Why should someone watch your video? And I know we've covered this multiple times together already, but go back through your last 5 videos even, just do the last 5, and ask yourself, does my video start with immediate value? Am I making people wait too long for the good stuff? Can I restructure the beginning to make it a little bit stronger? Because if you fix this, your retention will skyrocket, which means more watch time, better performance, and faster growth. And if you made it all the way to this part, all the way to the end, and you feel like you're wanting more help with your videos, or maybe you feel like you would benefit from having someone like myself help guide you and work with you on this stuff, you need to join One Video Away, which is my 90-day program. And it's in the description below because I want you to be part of a community with other business owners and other coaches, other entrepreneurs who are just like you, who also feel the same way as you do, because they want to use social media to grow their business. And that's exactly what you want to do. So click the link in the description to join. I would love to see you there. And in case no one told you today, you're one video away from a completely brand new life. I'll see you in the next one.